Hey guys, Nito King once again for a little more King's Quest VI, with bonus. But first, some stuff you've already seen.
Alexander sorts through the odds and ends that the pawn shop owner dumped into the pot. Magic exploding gum wrappers, a shattered crystal ball, a cracked wand, a fake thumb. Near the bottom, Alexander finds a little glass bottle labeled ink. It appears to be empty, but Alexander decides to take it anyway. You never know when a small bottle will come in handy.
Indeed, but I think we should investigate this bottle a little more closely.
Alexander's carrying a little ink bottle. It appears to be empty.
Appears, huh?
Alexander shakes the bottle and imagines he hears a faint swishing sound, but decides he is mistaken.
Mistaken, huh? We'll see about that.
Alexander decides to open the empty ink bottle.
It's stuck. It's... Whoa! The ink bottle isn't empty at all. It's full of invisible ink. Not very strong, but not bad.
So let's take another look at this bottle now.
Alexander's carrying a little bottle of invisible ink. Alexander examines the small bottle and determines that the invisible ink is indeed invisible.
Alright, so let's see what happens if we give our love poem to the Nightingale without having sent my insignia ring to the castle. Of course, Cosima doesn't know that Alexander's on the island yet.
Alexander holds out the poem to the Nightingale. To Alexander's surprise, the Nightingale swoops down and grabs the page from his hand. The Nightingale flies off towards the castle with the poem. Where might she be taking it?
And to tell you the truth, I was really expecting a cutscene here. This completely caught me off guard. But I figured out later what the problem was. So I went back, talked to Jalo, and then returned to this spot. And that's what you'll see. The description of the bird doesn't change.
The Nightingale sings her crystalline song in the boughs of the old tree. The Nightingale looks at Alexander curiously, as though waiting for something.
But let's try handing over the poem again, and this time, it'll work.
Alexander holds out the love poem to the Nightingale, hoping that she perhaps is the Nightingale that Jalo spoke of, and that she might be able to take the words of love to her mistress, Cosima. The Nightingale swoops down and grabs the poem. She flies off towards the castle, perhaps to Cosima?
Sing Sing, what have you found? A scrap of paper? Oh, this is no mere bit of paper, but words of love. Who sent this? It must have been Abdul. Oh, Sing Sing, will he never give up? You must be careful, pretty bird. Stay away from Abdul. I don't trust him so close to you. Now go!
The little bird returns to her branch without the poem. Alexander wishes he knew what happened to his message of love.
No, he doesn't. Alright, so let's show off some of the other ways that you can die to these sense gnomes. First, the gnome of smell, Tom Troll, if we don't give him anything.
Alert, my brothers, as we feared, a man has landed here.
Alright, now the gnome with the giant ears, Harku Groganor. We won't give him anything to listen to either.
My ears can't miss that strong heartbeat. A man it is, a man we greet.
A man, so say our ears. We shall send him to his bier.
I'm pretty sure they're talking about a deathbed, not alcoholic beverage. Anyway, let's give him something that doesn't make a sound.
Alexander holds the item out for the gnome with the immense ears.
My ears can hear nothing so clear as the sound of a man standing here.
And he also has a special message who play the flute for him.
Alexander plays the flute for the gnome with the huge ears.
A flute, it's true, is a harmless thing, but the man who blows it, there's the sting.
Alright, now Grump Flump, the gnome of taste. We won't give him anything to taste, but he can still taste me on the air itself.
My tongue betrays this one so sly. A man it is, I tell no lie.
A man, so say our tongue. To the realm of the dead we send this one.
You couldn't say, he will be flung or something? Anyway, I went and got a mint leaf specially to show you what happens if you give him the wrong item.
Alexander holds the item out for the gnome with the oversized mouth.
You'd think it'd work, but no.
My tongue dislikes this sour thing, and the taste of man all over it clings.
Alright, so now the gnome with Touch Trilly Gilly, who doesn't come anywhere near to touching us, but he's got the poke of death from across the beach.
My hands know what the rest do not. A man is standing on this spot.
A man, so say our hands. We act at the wizard's command.
And we'll give him something to touch. I was really hoping for a special message for the feather.
Alexander holds the item out for the gnome with the massive hands.
My hands cannot be led astray. A man is here, that's plain as day.
And finally, the old Bill Batter, the gnome of sight. I'll just let him see me. Love his reaction.
Of all the senses, eyes are best. A man, I say, and hang the rest.
A man, so say our eyes. A man he be, a man he dies.
And finally, I'll give him something else to look at. Dig in my inventory, pull out exactly the item I was holding.
Alexander holds the item out for the gnome with the enormous eyes.
My eyes cannot distracted be. A man I see, and so say me.
Alright, so what happens if you really do need to get away from these guys? Well, it's quite simple.
Alexander pulls out his magic map.
Pick an island. Any island.
Alexander feels a strange pulling sensation.
And now I'm free to go and get whatever I need. Speaking of the magic map, I'm going to show you a couple of things that most people don't do with it. Not everything, but a few things.
Alexander pulls out his magic map. Nothing happens. Apparently, the map won't teleport its user anywhere except the other islands. It's a good thing, too. Alexander has had enough of ocean swimming lately.
Now you can also look at the different islands to find out more about them, and other things.
An ornate compass marker directs the bearer of the map. Heavy mists shroud an area to the southeast on the magic map.
Ooh, ominous. Alright, so finally, let's hear the entirety of the boring book.
If you're having trouble sleeping, perhaps you'd like me to read to you.
Yeah, I know most of this is familiar,
that
but
would be
if you hang
great.
out till the end, there is sort of an interesting Easter egg.
2 dulcimers raised to the degree of 40 half-dulcimers, divided into equal parts by the third of a cackle of grouse geese, put over the result of 10 fine mackles, albeit small fine mackles, stretched over the total of 53 1/8 bottles of wild beast lard, Yields a gilded minnow of precise measurements, 2,069 centidrills by 3,023 and 6/7 puns, not punts, as might be expected. This is not to say, however, in any sense whatsoever, that deviations in mean temperature of 5 or 6 dregs or so.
The yawns get longer each time.
Indicate a fabrication or derivation sufficiently broad enough to exacerbate the conclusions uncovered in due course with regards to the dimensions, consistency, mass, or thickness inherent in the menial suckling grouse.
There's plenty of time to grab it here.
The poor little oyster falls into an uneasy sleep, though it's clear he is still not resting easy. Alexander decides to leave him to his nap.
And now you can never get the pearl.
The oyster is resting rather uneasily, and Alexander doesn't want to disturb him.
So let's jump back in time a little bit and check out something that I didn't get to show you earlier. Good old King's Quest II, which for some reason doesn't understand possessives. Are you ready for it? Da-da-da-da-da-da. Catch you guys next time.